Hi guys, Mr. Shirelli back with part 3 on how to make a game in C#. And when I left you in lesson 2, we were trying a program like this that had a panel, no picture boxes, and we had an object falling from the sky. And when it hit the person in the head, it made a beep sound. I don't know if you even really heard the beep sound. We were moving the cursor keys across the screen like this, and when there was a collision, we had the ball go in the opposite direction. Now let's quickly do a little recap of this, and then we'll talk about how we're going to improve it. Most important thing was that how did you get the keys to have the control over the person? Well, what you have to realize is that the form has a Keydown event. Now, to get the Keydown event, you don't double click on the form. That'll get you into the form load. What you have to do is you press the form once, then you go over to Properties, press the lightning bolt, and in the lightning bolt is all the different types of events, and there's Keydown right there. And then that's where you put the code to move left or right. Second part of this program was that when there was a collision, we wanted the image to go in the opposite direction, the soccer ball. And once we got hit in the head, so to speak, we wanted to make a noise, a beep. Well, today we're going to improve on that. What we're going to try to do is incorporate any kind of sound effect you want, a WAV file, an MP3, anything like that. Okay, so let's take a look at the program that has sound in it. So it's in your demos. I'll just slide up a bit. It's in Multimedia, Sound Demo 1. All right, I'll load it up very quickly. Now, there's two kinds of sounds that we're going to look at. We're going to have sounds that we can use for background music, and we'll have sounds we'll use for like sound effects, like little explosions or something like that. Okay, so you'll notice that on the screen right now is something that looks like the media player. Now, where did that come from? Because it's not in the choices over here on the left-hand side. Well, what you're going to have to do is go down to the very bottom and right-click on General and press Choose Items. And this might take a few seconds. What we'll do is we're going to have the computer go through the entire hard drive and find all the utilities and little controls that we can add to our program. And one of them is going to be the Windows Media Player. Now, while that's loading, we can talk about the other technique. The other technique is to do it purely in code. And when you do it purely in code, you're going to use the system media control that's part of C#. And I'll show you that as we get into the code. Okay, so here is what happens when you press and to load in all the information. Now, the one full tab that we want to be in is the Component tab. And when you press that one, in a second, you will see a bunch of different controls, and one of them will be the media player. So you have to go through this process. It takes a few seconds to load up. Okay, and once it's loaded up, you go right down basically to almost the bottom. We're looking for the Windows Media Player, and there it is right there. So you would check mark it, press OK, and then it would show up over here on the left-hand side, and then you would add it to your controls. Okay, so what would happen is you would drag it over here. I'll drag another one here temporarily. Okay, and that's the media player that you would add. Now, it was not letting me add more than one, but that's what would happen, and then there it is right there. Okay, now once you've got it in your program, what you do now is there are two ways to do sounds. And like I said, you can use WAV files for short bursts of sounds using internal commands. And if you do that, you first of all add that at the very top of your program. Okay, then because that's called a sound player class, you define all your sounds there. All right, you make up any names you want for the different parts of your sounds. You obviously have to load your sounds, so this is how you load them in, just like you load in pictures. All right, then this starts them and makes them ready for playing. Okay, so there's the commands that make them ready for playing. And then here's how you use them. Wherever you need a sound effect, whatever you call them, you say cheering.play or mist.play. Now, the second one that I mentioned was the media player. All right, and you might have noticed a little line right here for the media player. All you do for the media player is this is the name of the media player. All right, and this is where I put my sound effect or music or whatever I want to play. That's it. That's all it takes is that one line. So people like this one better than the other one, but there's two ways, and that's better for background music.